You take the lead.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to episode 6. Number 6, guys. I can't believe you've been with us for over a month and a half now. That's kind of crazy. So are you guys obsessed
I was
with
with us for over a month.
I know, we made it.
We made it.
No, because that's crazy. We're like in it, and this feels normal, to be honest.
This is so fun. So far, month reflection.
Mm-hmm.
This is perfect.
It's
a month
perfect.
reflection.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Good routine.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so natural because it's such a fun passion project. Like I go home, I have something to look forward to. But yeah, how about you?
I literally have been loving it so much. I think now we've been like filming episodes for, I guess it would be our 5th week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did 1 week where we did 2 episodes or something like that. But it feels so normal. It feels like just like this is my time to just like vent. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I use these times as like sometimes during the week I just like hold things and I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I love it. It's so fun. It makes it so much more like spill the tea, you know?
What was it? And I feel like because it's the both of us, we're just doing like the same amount of work and we're rotating it. We have weeks to take a break.
We do.
Weeks to edit and have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been pretty chill because I feel like if I did this alone, I just wouldn't do as good.
That's literally, okay, so like in my last podcast that I did, I think I got burnt out like so quick because it's like, I didn't really have enough time to just like relax. Mm-hmm. But like we have like a good system. Like we're both type A, so we both were like, okay, we have week 1, week 2, swap it.
Yeah.
And we get each other.
Yeah,
so
and
we
just hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
But we haven't had to because we just know the routine now. So
we know the routine and it's just fun. I think every week it's like I look forward to rather editing. I look forward to just like relaxing, posting on TikTok, you know.
Editing has been so fun and easy too.
Right?
I just got the hang of it, y'all.
I know, everyone, give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes.
But before we get started, I just would like to have a disclaimer because after reflecting, after rewatching the episodes and overanalyzing,
tell them.
I just want to apologize for breathing heavily. Like you'll hear clips of me just catching my breath, but honestly,
it's
like
okay. Me too.
I just forget to breathe. Like I can't breathe sometimes. I have a hard time. And then I also want to point out me saying a lot and the word like a lot.
See, this is all about awareness, you guys. We're really with the, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Communication. There we go. I was like,
key.
where am I going with this? Yes, communication is key. And she's communicating with us. So let's all just like hold her hand throughout this and say, it's okay.
And I will get better at enunciating my words.
Me too, you guys. I will be more professional, but I think that, yeah. Also, everyone comment happy birthday for Coley because her birthday is tomorrow.
But with a little party hat.
Yes, put your little party hats.
Honestly,
definitely.
I used to love my birthday, and then I used to have a phase where I hated it, and now I don't care for it. I think I'd had like the impending doom, like, oh my gosh, this is peak of my life. Like it's all gonna go downhill. So I never let myself enjoy it. But now I'm kind of just like, I've been practicing a lot of self-love and happiness. Yes. So like I'm embracing my birthdays now. Yeah. But like also with caution because there's still that fear like life's gonna go to shit after this.
I know. I think that's just kind of like, especially just growing up. It's like one of those thoughts because there comes a point where like, you know, everyone like hits, I don't know, it's like a point where you hit and then you just start kind of over analyzing everything and you're thinking like you said, the doom thoughts. But we're still so young though. We're only 21, about to turn 22. Like we got so much time. So.
Yeah, and I was about to say something dark. But I'm like, no, not this time.
So did you guys see that smirk on her face? Because I saw it too. She's like, yeah.
But yeah, speaking of like manifesting and everything, which is terrible, like in that light. But let's talk about delusions.
Yes.
Delulu. This is one of the icebreakers I wanted to hit because I thought this was so funny.
I'm excited for this one, actually.
So the question, it came to be when I was driving home and I saw a sign. I don't know if this is real or fake. Probably real. I don't know. I can never read the room. But it was like this guy, he unfortunately passed away, but the family who put the poster up of him believed he was murdered, and they were like offering a reward to someone who can solve his murder. And in the moment, like, I thought I was in a book. I was like, this is gonna be me. I'm gonna solve it.
She said, I'm gonna solve this one. That's
no.
scary.
But then I was thinking of, like, what if it was my past crush that did that? Like, that's why he ghosted me. Like.
Whoa.
So,
Wait, elaborate.
So,
like, put it in your point of view.
This is why I wanted to ask how delusional you've ever gotten, like, over a guy or, like, over someone. Or girl.
Or girl. Whoa, wait.
But, yeah, so for me, like, I just started spiraling. Like, I started solving my own issues with this thing. Like, I stopped thinking about the guy, but just, like, the aspect of it. So I'm like, what if my past crush was just, like, he was planning to murder me and invite me to, like, his boathouse or something. So secluded in the middle of nowhere. But then he just let me go because he's like, you know what? She's a good one.
He's like, no, I think I like her.
And then he disappeared off the face of the earth.
That's crazy. I love how you just connected those both. Like, that was like a college essay of like, it was like these two situations mending together. Yeah, no, that, Loki, I could get that vibe. Knowing who you're talking about, I'd say, it's kind of shady. But
50% likely.
50, maybe 55.
But he was kind of sketch, so
he was.
If he's watching this, it's not you.
It's not you.
I just made him up in my mind. He's not real.
It's all a delusion.
Now you answered the question.
Oh my god. Okay, so I feel like I have like a couple I could answer. They're not really delusion. It's just like
it's
more
factual.
of like more of just like what I did do that I'm just embarrassed because my delusion was just like this is my person, so I'll do the most for them. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've done the same thing.
Exactly. Okay, so I guess the first one I thought of was like when I was really young. I really liked this girl, and I feel like, I mean, I don't think she watches my stuff, but I just thought she was really pretty. Like, I was like, this girl is gorge. And so I literally, we were both in choir. Keep that in mind too. So we were little singers, and we were both in theater. Okay, so I thought this was like, she had all the same interests as me.
Yeah.
But little did I know, I was just gay. No, but she... what's it called? She added me on Snapchat and like everything. And it was just so cool because she was very like, she was popular, but like didn't have a phone. And to me, that was like cool. Like she only had like an iPad.
She built her following brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Like she was just like, her following was just like people knowing her at school and like loved her. You know
That's
what I mean?
amazing.
Yeah. She was that girl. She was I like start.
And you had taste.
I'm very particular. And anyways, she had her iPad, and then all of a sudden she like added me on Snapchat, and I was like, oh my god, like this is my moment. This is my moment. And we were talking whatever, blah blah blah, like middle school shit. And then it was like a popular thing. I don't know if you did this with your friends, but like we would send each other like covers, like singing songs. Did that ever? Maybe it was just like.
But no, like I think it's a choir thing. That's amazing for you.
So I did do a couple of songs, like covers, and I sent them to her, but like it was to like serenade her. Like they were like very
like
top tier songs. Yeah. I don't remember which ones.
Send me some.
I know. Let me
any. Oh. Let's bring that back.
So, bring back the applause, please. No, okay, so that one was crazy because I was doing the most, but like I don't think she was reciprocating. I think that's what it was. I don't remember too much because it's like you try to block this shit out, you know?
Yeah.
But it just felt like I would never do that to anyone else though. You know what I mean? Because like singing is like really crazy. So the fact that I was like so like in it to win it, I was very delusional for her. And she did not like me back, unfortunately. I actually shot twice. Yeah. And it was
That's me in 2024. Which I have to tell you about. No! Yeah, no, it was not it. I was delusional again. I thought this guy liked me back. The guy from the last episode.
You were supposed to update the pod.
No, like the guy from the last episode, like I was just delusional, y'all. But that's okay. Like it kept the excitement there.
It did. We're gonna have to debrief this after the episode.
Yeah, but like it's whatever. Like it's whatever. Like shut the up.
Literally, you guys, shut up. Like she doesn't want to hear it anymore.
I'm fine. Like
she's literally fine. You guys, stop asking. For real. Okay, wait. But this other time I was delusional was honestly so. Reliving this relationship gives me so much trauma already. Okay,
I'm so sorry to put you through this. Okay, but go. Like, let's listen to it.
Okay, so I had just a really crazy friendship. Okay, so just to give it context, I'm obviously not going to name drop because
that's icky.
We're not for that. But
we're not for that yet.
It's truly just if you know, you know. Okay,
yeah.
So I just had this like best friend I made during quarantine. We're both TikTokers. We're both like in the dancing / like low-key e-boy like era, you know? Yeah. So we both had that. We both had like the chain with the little lock, okay?
And the little stripe under the graphic tee.
Exactly. So we were like this, you know, on TikTok, whatever. It was very like, I feel like during COVID, I just had a lot of friends like from social media. Like those were like they were like people like I would actually like never meet, but like I got so close to them just because it was like FaceTime or just like talking to like someone on like Snapchat like frequently. You just feel like you know them. You know what I mean? Anyways, I got into this very like weird little relationship also through COVID, whatever. Ended, okay? Anyways, this was my first heartbreak, so it was, you know? It had me like shaking and shit. Like I was like depressed. But anyways, I had this friend and I would vent like all the time to this person, okay, about just like how I was feeling and everything. And just later down the line, like this is like months later, and keep in mind I would just vent constantly because it was like during COVID, so like what else did I have to think about? You know what I mean? So it was just like those dark thoughts were just ruminations. Just because, I mean, like, what else? Like, I didn't have anything to really distract me besides, like, work.
Yeah.
But once I did, like, start work and everything, like, that, like, helped a lot. But just, like, in the beginning stages, he just heard it all, you know? And then, okay, so later months down the line, there's a video that went viral. And there was no faces and, like, whatever, but like I just knew where this was taken and I knew who was in the video, and I just saw like, also again, a lot of our friends on social media are very like,
it's like a circle.
It's a circle. It's a very circle. And so I would get the like sent to me like on like Snapchat like the link to the TikTok being like, did you see this? Is that who I think it is? And I was like, okay, first of all, like the people that did send me that are kind of shady. Like, we weren't like this to be like...
They just wanted to see the tea, like, unfold.
You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of crazy to me. Like, now, at the time, I was just like, oh my God, thank you for sending me this. But, like, now reflecting, I was like, that would only be okay. Like, if you sent that to me of being like, oh my God, it'd be a different story. But it was just like...
They wanted to see the tea spill.
Like, it literally felt like they were just, like, wanting a reaction. But that's, like, besides the point. But, anyways, I see it. And then, this was the first time I was like, I confronted someone, like, about something that I was, like, I don't know, like, that would be scary, like, now. I don't know. But, I, like, asked everything being, like, hey, like, this is so crazy, and I could be so delusional right now, but this you? You know? And then I got the, like, left on scene for 2 hours, and then I was just like, oh, like, you know, they just responded, blah, 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 like, maybe they're very busy. But then I got back, and it was, like... Actually, I don't remember if it was 2 hours or if it was, like, sooner than that. But then I got the full paragraph, though. It was, like, and then that's when I knew. Like, my heart just, like, sank. I was like, shit. It was reaffirmed. But basically, where I'm going with this story, that was crazy. He told me that they actually started, like, talking to each other, like, 2 weeks after I ended things. And I vented to everything. But I was so... He basically trauma dumped right after that, explaining kind of like things that were going on in his life, which I was a friend, so I was like, you know, I'm there for you. So I was
knowing you would have put your feelings aside to take care.
Yes.
And be his caretaker.
That's kind of like how I was like thinking about it. I was like, well, he doesn't have anyone, you know, like. But my delusion was thinking that like that was like gonna be a friendship that I could fix. That's where I was going with this, but that was crazy delusional for me, thinking like you can fix something like that. Because so that summer I was supposed to go like visit him, and then like he did let me know that the other person was gonna be there, and I was like, no worries.
It was like after plans were confirmed.
Like it was like after like I was like already like ready to kind of like do it, and then yeah. So then he just kind of like. But I just also was so delusional that I was like, you know, we're not going to let this get in between our friendship, because I did trauma dump to him about a lot of stuff, you know, like about everything. And it was just like, it just felt so like an intimate like friendship. Like it was like, also he was a guy, and I haven't had many guy friends unless it was like there was like a connection there, but there wasn't. It was just like strictly.
It was just
like,
platonic.
Yeah, it was very
like a
platonic.
first platonic without feelings being caught.
Exactly. But I was like literally thinking like, you know what, this is like just a little bump in the road. But I think it was just completely different because number one, it was during COVID, so like my emotions were like way more attached to things than like how it would be now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could have totally like forgot about it and been like, oh whatever, blah blah blah. But I think that time though, like things that were small actually like affected us way more. And like now I'm like, I can't believe that I really thought I was going to fix that friendship. Slide. Yeah, I let it slide. And even after the fact, I didn't end up going on that trip, by the way, to go see him because I was like, no, like for my mental health, like that's the most responsible thing to do for myself.
I'll pay a band to not go on that trip.
Yeah. Like, so I did miss out on my money because I didn't get my refund, but that's okay.
It's okay. Like you literally, you paid for not getting trauma.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's what you paid for.
So it was a crazy time. And then even after the fact, I kind of just like, again, let it slide. And I would like still talk to them here and there.
Or like being nice.
Yeah, like being nice.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things though where it's like, it's not the fact that like, I don't even care. Like, obviously you don't have attachment to people. But it was just the fact that you just wanted to hide something from me. And that's just like so significant where like you would have to tell your friend. And if we consider each other best friends, I would expect you to tell me like, hey, this is kind of what's going on. Like, it could have just been in the beginning. Honestly, I would have been like, okay, yeah, like, fuck you, and, like, take my time away from them, and then eventually we could have been friends after the fact.
Yeah, but it was so manipulative.
It was just so secretive.
Oh, no.
But I really just wanted to fix that friendship. I was, like, thinking, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go on that trip, and I'm gonna prove myself, and, like, all that, but I'm like, who? No, for who?
No, babe, put yourself first.
So,
put yourself first, because at the end of the day, they could, you lose them how you get them. Is that, you get them how you lose them?
You get it.
I
don't know, but
maybe
I
that's
get
not
it.
like
I get it.
Actual correlating advice, but you know, like people can't leave you in life, and then you could choose to stay, whether to go or stay. But obviously, like these are people who've done you dirty. Yeah, you don't want to stay there. You know, like there's so many other people to meet out there.
Exactly. Like now, guys, I am more mature, so all love, all of there, but just not for me. It's a room I just don't want to be in, and that's okay.
Like
you know?
I have walked away from friendships, but like they weren't a bad person. It's just that. We are different people and we have different personalities, and I could just like, I don't know, the problems weren't solving together. We weren't solving the problems together like in the same communication style. Yeah. And it just made it really difficult. Now where I'm like, you know what, like let's continue to grow separately and stay on our separate paths. Yeah. No bad blood, like they're a good person. They're not a bad person.
It's just kind of like moving on. Next chapter.
Exactly.
And like that's okay. I think that's honestly really mature thing to do, not only for yourself but also the other person, because sometimes you really don't click with people and you don't want to be forcing like relationships, because that's when things just like
it'll drain you
so much, and it's not worth it. And it's okay to sometimes just be like send people off with love, like just be like,
any decision you make for yourself may seem selfish, but it's just an act of self-love.
Exactly.
You know, like if you do something that you're just putting yourself first, like I don't think that should be an issue. Unless you're intentionally hurting the other person.
Exactly.
Like intentionally, you know it's gonna hurt, and then you want it to hurt the other person. Like that's a little much.
That's true.
Yeah, that but if they, I don't know, like that's a whole nother episode.
I know, like we could really deep dive on like from there, but
yeah.
Yeah, so that was the craziest time I was delusional. Don't know that was like don't know how we got here, but that got deep, and I didn't mean for it to get deep, but
no, like
that was deep.
That was crazy.
That was a crazy time, because I think just seeing that on social media just gave me. Yeah. And again, it's not like we're like, I mean, you're a private like. Wait, how do I say this? Like at that time, obviously we were like private people, but there was also like people were like very chronically online. So if you had a following, it was kind of like, yeah, like, and then now it would have been crazy, because you know how now like whenever there's drama, you can like go tap on the little hashtag right underneath. That would have been crazy, because that would have probably been one of those, because people were commenting on my like stuff.
The blue search bar thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if that was a thing back then, like that would have been crazy, because people were commenting on my stuff, being like, "Did you see the video? Did you see the video?" And I was like,
"That one was crazy."
That's crazy. Like, what was the point of that? Yeah, I can't.
What a time, because that was like the center of our world when that was happening.
I know. I had to literally keep her updated, and I was just like. But literally all my friends, they were telling me, like, drop him, like, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, you guys, like, I can't, though. Like, he's just seen me through so much. But now it's like...
That's okay. Like, people they come and go. They come and go from your life.
That's true. And that's okay. It's all love. It's all love.
That's okay. But it sounds like we got mail.
Oh, did you guys hear that?
Perfect. That means we got mail. Of course, we don't have the mailbox yet, so it's email.
It's currently an email right now.
This person would like to remain anonymous. I promise, like, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Like, this is actual advice.
We actually
request.
got our first submission.
I know, this is the first real request. So, the advice is, I just run away from problems a lot, and I don't confront them. I'm scared of confrontation, and I just run and ghost. I have so much anxiety about this. What do I do?
That is so real. I think just, like, whenever we deal with something that is uncomfortable, of course, our first instinct is to, like, protect yourself. And a lot of that time means, like, we just want to run away from it.
Yeah.
But depending, like, I think now just, like, it's really important to start, like, stepping into the position where you can allow yourself to face the scary things.
Yeah.
And know that, like, it's just, like knowing you're going to be okay. Like, nothing is ever going to be that deep. Like, and a lot of the things. I mean, not everything, but you know what I mean? But, I think it's just really just number one is the first thing that I would say is, like, mindset. But what do you think? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
If this is with someone you really do deeply care about, it would make sense to have some sort of empathy with them, knowing, like, this is going to be uncomfortable to confront the situation. And, like, it's going to be scary, and you don't want to do it. But also, mind you, you're not the only one in this problem.
Right.
You know, like, there's the other person waiting for some sort of confrontation.
Right.
And, like, depending on your guys' relationship, you decide, you're also there to decide whether they do deserve that closure or not. It's going to be uncomfortable for the both of y'all.
It really is. And I was literally thinking, like, on top of that, like, if you don't confront the problem, you're going to create more problems because you're going to start resenting the other person, like, to an extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if it's, like, a problem, like, you guys are both having conflict and you choose to ignore it. Girl, that's going to build up and you're going to start to resent the other person. Like, literally confront it while it's still small.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's what a lot of people miss is they just, like, especially when you grow up, like, in a people-pleasing type of, like, mindset. I think this is something that I definitely had to, like, learn from. But, like, allowing yourself to just, like, confront the problem just by communicating. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. You know, like, you can just be like, hey, like, blah, blah, blah. And then just, like, communicate that, and then it's way better than just, like, waiting until you have an argument and then you bring up that other thing, because this is something that sometimes happens to me, and I was just like, well, you did this, blah blah blah, and then you're just like, well, I didn't even know that was a problem, like, and then it's just like, whoa, and then you're like, whoa, you know?
Like, do you want that communication style where, like, quick to defend yourself, or do you just want to step back and really hear the message, you know?
Yes.
Like, because there's going to be an intention on why someone's confronting you about this, you know? It's not to personally attack you, you know? It's just, like, to confront, like, hey, this made me feel like that. It's not to tell you that this is your flaw and you're stuck with it, you know? Embrace it. Embrace that hit, because, like, there's someone you care about. There's someone you love. Like, they're not going to just throw it at you to throw it at you. Like, they're going to just, they want to see you grow, you know? Especially, you love this person. They want to see you grow. They're not just going to do this to just make you feel bad about yourself.
Exactly. Like, the people that really care for you will really show themselves during this time. Like, if you do confront them and they're very, like, maybe childish or insincere or, like, kind of selfish in their response, I always say this, keep note of that, you know? And if it does rub you the wrong way, it's still your responsibility, though, to communicate that and let them know, because, like Holly was saying in the beginning, it's not just you, it's them too, and you have to realize that. And, like, a lot of our relationships, it takes two to tango, and if you're not communicating how you feel, and if they're not communicating how they feel, it's just like you're talking to brick walls. We talk about that a lot, like, in a lot of friendships. There's times where, like, you're talking to someone that's just not seeing the other side, and it's frustrating. But if you just both communicate, hopefully, you know, that it's going to be scary at first, but then I think eventually there's going to come a point where it's, like, normal to kind of just express your boundaries, because your boundaries are going to change, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just kind of hard, because if this is your struggle with, like, a friendship, like, you don't want to, you guys enter the friendship together. You guys mutually decide to become friends. So it's only fair you guys lead the friendship together, and not just, like, making it all on your terms and just walking in and out. Like, that's not going to be fair. And if you do believe in karma, it will catch up to you. Someone you care about will do that to you, and it won't feel good.
I always think of it as, like, cycles. And, like, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do things, but there's definitely a way where that like resonates a little bit more, where you feel like this is the right thing to do. I think we all kind of have that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if there's a cycle that makes you really uncomfortable, try choosing the decision where you know you can leave it by thinking like I solved this, or being
Exactly.
like I completed this cycle and moving forward I know like both sides, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
And being that type of person who is anxious and scared and just overall does not like confrontation, it doesn't make you a bad person, but wanting growth to be more comfortable with setting boundaries and doing that will make you a person that does see growth, and that does help build your character.
That's so good. Yeah, I think that says it a lot too, because I feel like a lot of times we like hear this advice and it's like really harsh, but like Coley said, like take little steps, kind of like so that's what I got from that. It's just like take like don't like you don't have to you know, confront every single bad thing to start with, but like just know that there's gonna come a point where you will be able to, and like as long as you're like trying your best, that's what matters more.
And just know like we're all people, you know, we all have our feelings, we all feel this and that, like this is our first time at life.
Exactly.
We're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna grow from them. It's just like taking accountability. Do you want to grow from this? Do you want to like do you want to recognize that this is a flaw and this is something you want to like practice more?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
No, I completely agree. So that would be my take on that. Is really just like number one, key takeaways is like be easy on yourself. Definitely just start cultivating more of a mindset of like you're gonna grow from this, and just take it step by step, and just have more empathy for yourself and the other person, and just communicate. That's really like it's scary, but you just gotta do it. It's one of those things, you know?
And like an easy practice I do is just imagine yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, how would you have wanted someone to confront you about this? Yeah. You know?
That's actually a really good one.
It's like, it traces back to like a standard rule of treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that question because I feel like a lot of us go through like that type of phase.
I just went through it.
Yeah, I know.
Which is crazy.
So it's like... Yeah. So take her advice. You just went through it, and I feel like you're like healing from it. So
yeah. I haven't really thought much about it. Just kidding. That's like so insensitive. Imagine that person was listening to this. She goes, "Fuck." So.
You know what time it is.
It is time to inhale and exhale. Damn, get into it.
I'm like.
But yeah, so first cigarette break segments. So we're going to be talking about block culture. And what do we think about it? What do we think about block culture?
Block culture. We talk about this one a lot, Coley and I, because I think it depends on the situation, of course, but I don't think blocking someone is necessarily like an intensely bad thing.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Okay, that's what I was about to say,
I
was trying to read her vibe. I was like, oh my god, am I about to be canceled?
Even if I disagreed, like literally stand on business, be confident, because I will always be opening. I'm not opening. I'll always be opening. I will always be open.
Be opening for me. I'm just kidding.
And that is so true. No, but I'll always be open to hearing ideas from other people.
Me too.
You know, I'm here to learn and grow. Like I don't want to just be on a fixed mindset. Like personally for me, I just think it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
If it's like, one act of self-care, do it. You don't owe anyone anything.
That's exactly where I was going to go with this. Like really, it's just remembering like you don't owe anyone anything, and if you want to like block someone, like fucking block someone. Like what is it gonna do? Like if it keeps them up at night, like they'll find other things to like worry about, because that's so small, that's so minimal. Like someone blocks you, just like okay, like now you know. Like,
but there's always an extent to everything, because like what are the intentions of blocking? Like are you gonna block them to talk shit about them to their crush, or like talk shit? That's terrible. Like that makes you a grimy person.
You are right.
But if you're just blocking them to be like, they don't serve me purpose, and I don't want them wishing me bad luck. If you're doing it in a mature way.
Like, if you're doing it, it's just like like for yourself type of vibe, being like, this is for me. But like, if you're doing it to just like, I don't know, like stir the pot, then like, you're crazy. Because you know how there's some people that will like, I'm gonna block you, and then they unblock you, and then block you again, where it's like, okay, that's babes, toxic. Like, that's crazy. But like, yeah. I'm just talking about it in the circumstance of just like.
Personally, how I see, up until, actually, I don't think I have anyone blocked. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I don't block a lot Like, I don't remember the last person I blocked.
You know what? Me too. Like,
So, yeah.
Sometimes okay, like, okay, wait. Let me explain my take. Because, like,
Yeah.
let me further investigate this. Because I also need an opinion. So, what I did, like, sometimes I'll, like, block people. And if it's, like, someone where I'm, like, I mentally had to do that, you know, to, like, overcome it. And then there comes a point where there's, like, no bad blood anymore. I will just kind of, like, unblock them sometimes. Like, where I was like, oh, that was, like, childish of me of, like, blocking. But, like, I don't know.
No, it's kind of like it's like I've blocked someone and then unblocked them later on.
Mm-hmm.
It's because at the time, like, I really just needed to shut them out.
Mm-hmm.
I really needed to, like, not think about you. I also needed to stop visiting your account because I kept thinking about the situations and everything.
I
so
think
it was, like, for my own purpose, too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, like, in, like, the way of, like you said, like, where I was, like, constantly, like, I don't know, like, when you stalk someone, like, you know, when there's just, like, an icky end to the things, and so you just, like...
Find your own closure, see how they're doing in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you, like, always have to, like, check up on them, and it's, like, that's so toxic. So the best thing sometimes to do is block for your own good.
Yeah,
like,
just to create space for the both of y'all.
Exactly, like, it'll be a favor for you, and potentially a favor for them, like, depending on, like, I don't know, those circumstances, but... I think it's okay. Like, it's okay to block. Like, do things on your own terms. And, like, in certain situations. Like, of course, there's an extent to everything, like Coley said. But, like, if you want to block someone, I support it.
Yeah, like, unfollowing, closing that door. Mm-hmm. Blocking, deadbolting it so no one can go in and out. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But, like, yeah, it's all about intention, too, at the end of the day, too. Like, if you are going to block them and then just go ham on them and their character, then that's wrong. But then also thinking... back at it, like, okay, but what did they do? I could go all day with this.
Like, this
but yeah, general about block culture, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think, like, yeah, overall. I was going to say when you block, like, celebrities, how it makes a difference, but then I don't think it does, like...
Yeah, I don't even... Sometimes, no, but this is actually going to go straight into our next segment perfectly, but I don't block celebrities. I literally just... I get so overwhelmed with, like... celebrities in general where I just delete myself from social media. Like, I will deactivate. I will shut off my account. Like, I will just go MIA and log out for a while. Just sometimes, because, like, they're living their lives. They're not doing anything wrong to me personally. It's just, like, how I'm taking their posts. Which brings us to our next segment where we dive deep into shallow waters.
Okay, everyone, take a shot. No.
But yeah, so our next segment, Dive Deep in Shallow Waters, we are going to be diving deep into self-esteem, self-destruction, and...
ruminating on, like, sad thoughts or just... So, we're about to get deep, so just get ready.
So, let me just start off by saying I've always struggled with self-esteem. I've always hated how I looked. Like, even now, like, I look at myself on social media, like, if I'm tagged in a post, I'm like, whatever. I don't look good, but I can't do nothing about it. You know? My birthday's coming up, and I just hate how I look even more. Because now I know, like, there's going to be a tiny spotlight on me. So I can't. Like, I was actually so stressed yesterday about finding an outfit to wear for my birthday. Because I don't feel confident enough to wear anything, like, really cutesy, like, very skin tight, or, like, anything that could flatter my body. Because my body doesn't feel flattering to the eye. So, yeah.
Oh, this is so sad, Chloe. It's so crazy just to, like, the way we think of ourselves is so different than the way other people think of us. You know what I mean? Because it's, like... I'm, like, thinking in a way of, like, I literally think anything you do is just iconic slay. Like, that's so coolly coded. But I feel like, just hearing, you know, how you think of it, like, yourself, it just makes me so sad. And I feel like the same way, though, for me, though, if, like, you put it into perspective, I'm like, oh, like, I'd be thinking I'm not slaying, and I'm, like, insecure, like, 80%, 90% of my life, you know? But then it's, like, other people, they'll view me, like, you'll view me and be like, oh, my God, but you're so amazing, iconic, so slay. You know what I mean? It's, like so crazy how we do that. But I feel like same, like, with, like, my self-esteem, like, kind of similar to, like, how yours, like, rolls around, like, for, like, your birthday or, like, whenever you have the spotlight. I think just, like, going down. So I'm about to go on vacation, you guys.
I know. Hunter's been on his Zoom.
I've been so excited. I've been
Zoom.
so prepared for this vacation, like for the first time ever. But it's like, okay, you know when you just like visit people you haven't seen in so long, and it's almost like you feel like you want to like be leveled up from last time, or that's just how I think of myself. I don't know.
Oh yeah, why. I could definitely relate.
Like,
110%.
Where it's like I want them to be like, oh, like I haven't seen you in so long. Like now I'm back and I'm so successful. Like blah blah blah. But it's like I just haven't really seen myself in that light, and like also, this is just, like, a personal, like, self-esteem thing. Like, when I, like, post on, like, social media and how I really, like... this is so, like, But, like, I, like, thought my career would have been, like, taken off by now, you know? But it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, I don't know. But... that was, like, something I was very adamant about telling my family about my social media, and then I just kind of, like, took a break, and it almost just feels, like, awkward. And I think that's affecting my self-esteem, though, of, like, now going down there. Like, they all follow me, and so they all keep up with me. They're, like, the biggest supporters. Like, I love you, family. But it's just, like... I don't know, I just thought my success would be a little bit different in different ways. But, like, you never know. Like, everything happens for a reason, and I'm totally trusting that. But it was just, like, you know, such a big passion of mine that, like, I'm so insecure about it, though. You know? Does that make sense?
Relating back to like seeing family or seeing people you haven't seen in a while, I live in a very stereotypical Filipino family. Like, I pull up to the gathering, the titas surround me and be like, oh, you gained weight. You gained weight. Hearing that your whole life, like, or like any slight difference about you, good or bad, you'll hear it. So then you start to think that's what everyone thinks about you. Yeah. And you just train yourself. Like, any negative thought, you must have heard that at some point in your life. You didn't just think that to think that. Yeah. Like, you hear that once, it stays in your head, and it replaces thinking that's how everyone thinks.
And I think, like, also, and I feel like in, like, just like Filipino households, in any household really, but you just respect your family just at a different level. It's like a weird, I don't know about if you feel that way, but like just
Asian
like
families mainly,
like it's like,
well, not mainly, but like
like anyone like older than you just like respect them so much. And it's like growing up, because you're forced to, like people around you are like respect them, and so then you do, and like whatever. So the things they say to you, especially when you're little though, like you respect them. So if someone you respect is telling you this, it's like, oh, like they're right.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then you start... See, my parents were, like, the pillars of my mental health. They, like, whatever, if they disapproved of something of me, like, I would think I did something wrong. Like,
because it's just you wanted their approval.
Exactly. And then you realize, this is their first time at life.
Yeah, that's also...
They're making their judgment based on what they know, what they picked up. They don't know everything. Yeah. You know? You might be teaching them something.
Exactly. And I think, like, adding on to that, like... I feel like, a lot of our trauma that we do have with our parents, or just, like, in family in general, whoever your parental figures are, like, it is really easy to just, like, point the finger, but then, like Coley said, I think we are in a generation, too, where we have a lot more resources to be aware, where in the past, like, especially if you come from, like, a stereotypical, like, Asian household, or just, I don't know, any people of color type of household, like, they were kind of taught to be the way they are. You know what I mean? And whereas, like, we have a lot more access and, like, accessibility to, like, seeing how other people do things, and you realize, like, oh, that was a lot gentler, and that was a lot more thoughtful, that, like, I'm gonna start taking that on, like, for my future, you know? Whereas, like, sometimes I feel like, I don't know, with my family, it was like mental health has always been a big thing, but to an extent.
It would be so drastically different if my parents stayed in the Philippines and I was raised and born there.
Yeah, it'd be so different, right?
The way our parents have, like, raised us really reflects on how they were raised by their parents, and, like, so on and so forth. Yeah. So if I was raised in the Philippines, I would be a completely different person. Because, like, a lot of my personality has been based on me being exposed and, like, being out there in the community, like, doing sports, going to school, doing clubs, having that privilege and opportunity. Because, like, not only did I, like, stray away from only, like, staying in that like, traditional household, I, like, was able to grow and expand and bring those ideas home. And, like, I would consider my parents non-traditional Filipino parents, because they do have ideas that are traditional, but at the same time, they are pretty chill.
They, like, have their way of life.
Exactly. But also, I wanted to bring self-esteem with relationships next.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah. Ooh, that's so good. I think, you know, like, I've been learning how there's like an attachment anxious style, like different like relationship styles. I don't know all of them. Like I'm not too familiar, but like I think when I was like listening, this is also from TikTok, so I really should do my own research. But like
we'll do research and go.
Yeah, we'll dive deep on that one day. But I resonated a lot with just like the anxious like attachment style, just how it's very like you just have. I mean, I'm literally in the name. Like I'm like very anxious about my relationships. Depending, it really depends on like how I am like feeling like mentally about myself. Like it really just reflect on that. Obviously when I'm more confident, I'm less like I'm more independent. But when I am going through that tough time, I'm very like how people talk to me and do everything. It makes me so anxious. Like I just want to approve of every like.
Be the yes man.
Be the yes man because I want to make sure that they don't like leave me. And I don't really know why. I think I'd have to do more deep dive one day, but I don't know why that comes up.
Mine is just like physical appearance really matters for a relationship for me. Not that I'm expecting it for my partner, but I feel like I have to look a certain way to have a partner. Like my worst fear, this is so terrible, which is why I know I'm not ready to be a parent. Like in the near future or future in general. Because I'm scared of gaining weight during pregnancy. Like, I'm scared, like, one day I get pregnant and I will refuse to eat because I don't want to gain that extra weight. Yeah. Because I'm scared, like, that's going to define whether I'm worthy of a relationship or not, if I look a certain way. Like, all bodies are beautiful unless it's my body type of thing.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's just, like, how we think of ourselves so differently than other people think of us. And it's just so weird, though, because it's so, like, obviously it's, like, the way you think about yourself matters so much more because it's, like, you're the one trapped in your head. So, of course, if you're, like, saying these negative things, it's, like, you know?
And it's, like, it's not like I'm fishing or anything. It's just, the way you notice your body fluctuates all the... But, like, my weight fluctuated 11 pounds in the span of 3 months. And that took a toll on me. Like, and then it just leads, like, to all these behaviors, like, oh, my God, like, I feel disgusting. You know, like, I feel my best at my worst. Like, I felt my best at the point when I was just not eating. Versus, like, if I ate a good meal, I feel so terrible because I feel it. I feel it in my body. Like, I feel good when I feel skinny.
Yeah.
But, like, who is telling us you have to be skinny to
That's
be
what I'm, like, literally saying. It's just,
good.
Like... Because, like, when you're saying this, obviously I want to be like, no, bitch, like, don't think like that. But then it's like, I think like that, too. So it's like, I can't even be mad at you because I'm like, no, why do I think about that myself? Because it sounds crazy hearing it from you, but then it's also like, wait, like, that's true, though. Like, why do I think about myself that way? You know what I mean?
And, like, the Kardashians, like, they really wanted to be curvy and, like, very voluptuous. They got all the surgeries. And now, like, some of them are just...
Like, reversing it.
Yeah, you know, like, trying to be stick thin, you know? But back then, having curves and being slim thick was, like, perfect. You didn't have to be stick thin, and then now the standard is being slim thick. And then now it's being stick thin. Like, you will never satisfy anything, you know?
I know. It makes me so sad because you're right. I feel like kind of like, it's weird to say that, but like the body trend of like the appearance is so like Ozempic.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Like we all joke about it, but like everyone wants to look like a supermodel when I've heard just so many supermodels being like, I don't even want to promote like how I am because I'm not doing this a healthy way. Like there's like, it's like not supermodels, but just models in general, you know? And I've just heard like a lot of like horror stories about like, I don't know. It's just so sad that that's what we like see, you know, like in the media in general. So we just all want to look like what's in the media because obviously that's what's popping. You know what I mean? And I feel like subconsciously we want to be the girl in front of the cameras. We want to be the one that's like, oh my God, like body goals. You know, like what do we say? Body is tea. Like we want to be like that.
But all bodies are beautiful.
All bodies are beautiful because like literally if you look around, like if you like, I don't know, I feel like majority, if you have a kind heart, of course, you'll look around and you just think everyone's beautiful in their own way.
Especially the way they like show off their best features. Like this girl has face card.
Yes.
Face card. Like she knows that that's beautiful.
She knows.
I love when people, I would see someone think they're the most beautiful person ever. Yeah. But then I look at myself and I can name 20 things I hate about myself on the spot. But, like, when I look at anyone around me, I don't see an issue with them. Right. But when I'm walking around town, I think everyone's, like, literally seeing, like, my thigh gap, seeing, like, my face shape, how big my arms are, like, my shoulders, you know? But, like, I see someone next to me, same build. I'm like, she's beautiful. Like, I would not change a thing about her.
Yeah, right? That's how I feel. And it's just like, yeah, when you put it into perspective like that, we really just have to have, I mean, it's so easy just to say we need to have more empathy, but, like, I guess, how do we have more empathy, do you think? Like, what do you think, like, helps you get to that point where you can, like, I guess, heal that relationship with yourself?
Practicing it. You gotta practice confidence. Like, fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? Like, there were days where I feel like I have been more confident, even though in reality I've been in my worst shape. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, faking it. Honestly, I could agree with that, because I feel like sometimes it is good to kind of, like, train yourself by faking it. You know, like, sometimes that's how you get the ball rolling, and then eventually it becomes kind of just like a habit, I guess, or just like a way of, like, how you perceive yourself, you know?
And one thing about me is that I will log off social media, and I will stay MIA for a while. Yeah. Because I realize I'm just surrounding myself with people who are setting unrealistic goals around me. There are celebrities who post themselves eating junk food, and they're still so skinny and beautiful. When in reality, I actually did see, I don't know if it was a YouTube video or a TikTok, but like, for example, Olivia Rodrigo, she is so beautiful, so gorgeous. She's, like, so fit, right? But then, like, you'll see her posting a picture of her eating, like, a slice of pizza. And you're like, if I ate that, I would be, like, 10 pounds heavier the next day, bloated for days. But in reality, like, she probably does have her strict routine before every show she does to make sure, like, she's getting in her nutrients. Yeah, like she's eating healthy diets. Like, those are her cheat days. She's posting her cheat days. Like, just the same way we take pictures of our food and we post it. We don't eat like that every day.
That's so true. That is so true, because I think in a way it's very similar, but, like, for me it's just like those workout influencers, you know? I only, like, sometimes if I see them, like, posting, like, they're eating, like, junk food, I'm like, oh, then, like, I don't know. It's like one of those things, like, if I ate that still, like, I wouldn't look, like, built like that. Yeah. Like, but you're right, how it's just, like, one of those things where, like, it's like a highlight reel. Social media is totally a highlight reel. Like, it doesn't, they have their whole different life, you know, their whole experience, whatever. But, yeah, I think
that's why I step back. Because I'm just, like, realistically, like, maybe someone's looking through my account and thinking, like, I'm living my best life. I'm doing this and that, and I'm living lavish. But, like, no, like, I'm working my regular 9 to 5. I'm only posting the good stuff. Yeah. But I could be having a bad day for, like, a month.
Totally.
So I just step back, because sometimes I think social media is the reality. But no, it's not. Like, you're just posting your best things forward.
This is, like, leading me to, like, what we should definitely maybe mention in the next episode is, like, insecurity. I'm realizing, I think, a lot more how, like, I didn't know how insecure I was, like, during, like, certain things, you know? But, like, I want to deep dive on that next. Yeah. I think we should. So, what do you guys think?
Also, in the next episode, well, not next, but, like, one of the episodes in the future, I was walking through the farmer's market the other day, and I saw so many people being so passionate about, like, certain things and opening their own shops. I uncovered that I love, like, I love seeing love everywhere, but I'm scared of love. Like, like, again, like, I think I'm not there to love because of how I physically look. I just can't even physically love myself. But I'm working on it.
You're working
on it? I'm practicing it. It's been really good. But, like, still, part of me is just not there. But anyways, yeah, like, I'm so into love, but I'm scared of love. But I love seeing people passionate. So if you're confident, I love to see it. Like, it's so beautiful to see people bloom with confidence and just literally be themselves. It's amazing.
That's so true. I do love it.
Even if you don't feel confident today, literally throw on your best outfit and just walk around and just bask in people like smiling at you, complimenting your sweater. Like, do things for yourself that make you feel good. You know?
I agree.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Because you won't expect to love yourself fully one day. Because there's going to be days where you love yourself and you hate yourself. But, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. And, like, we kind of talked about this, I think, a couple episodes ago, but just touching on the idea that there's going to be times where you're in a really good spot and there's going to be times where you're at, like, a really low spot, but just know that, like, that's okay. It's okay that you're, like, not always good. Like, going back to the social media thing, like, obviously you see everyone's highlight reel, so you see everyone happy all the time, but just know that that's not the case. Like, half the time, like, I'll have a post and I'm having a really bad day, but do I post, like, a really happy video? Yeah, because that's, like, social media is so, like, a highlight reel. But just, like, just remember that, like, if you are, like, feeling like your self-esteem is, like, fluctuating lower and, like, you're, like, in the past I was so much happier, like, don't think of it as, like, that. Like, just be very mindful with yourself. Be very demure. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But, like, for real, like, just know that, like, it's okay to be in a cycle, and if you're at a low one, that's okay. Like, that's normal, and we all go through that. Just know you're not alone. Yeah.
Healing isn't linear, so.
It isn't. And it's...
have rocky. It's gonna go...
It's literally, you know that, like, little, like, infographic? It's like... No, but yeah, and I think that just, like, also, like, leading to, I don't know if we really touched too much on it, but just the idea of, like, ruminating and, like, sadness in general.
Yeah.
I feel like that also comes in phases, too, where, and sometimes I do think it's healthy. Do you have that take, too?
Oh, yeah, like, we're going to get into this another episode because this was going to be the original episode, but we kind of changed it last minute because I've been ruminating too much on my self-esteem for my birthday. So we had to change it up last minute.
No.
But feeling comfortable being in a depressive state because I actually feel more comfortable being depressed than happy. It's exhausting being happy for
all
me.
The time.
I can't.
It's so weird because I can say that when I'm, like, in, like, a, like, not like a dark place, but when I'm in a place where I'm just, like, sad all the time, then it becomes really comfortable. But I think recently, because you know how we were talking about this last episode, like, summer is, like, my prime. That's my prime time. And then once kind of, like, that winter rolls around, that's when I, like, start to struggle a bit. And my answers will definitely change depending on what mood I am.
No, like, I can't. I'm like, it's getting dark. I can't go out.
No, like, literally, I'm like,
I'm happy to stay in.
No, but I really am. I'm so happy to stay in. Like, I'm such a homebody.
Same, but, yeah, like, I don't know. Just kind of being in that depressive state. It's just comfortable if that's all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into that soon.
Yeah, we're definitely going to deep dive a little bit more, but I think that's all we have today. But I feel like we had so much to unpack this episode, you guys. I feel kind of like I feel like I just had a good talk.
Yeah, I really like that. But we could definitely get into this again because I feel like we just touched base with, like, the surface of it.
It was, like,
we were still in that shallow end.
We were still in the shallow end.
Could have dived deeper, but...
Next time I'm definitely putting the little snorkel shit on. I'm about to go dive deep. For sure.
47 meters down.
74. I'm about to see the megalodon. Like. No, but thank you guys just so much for tuning in. We've been getting, like, so much love from you guys. Definitely follow our TikTok and Instagram at Anxiety After Hours Pod. Look at little Star making an appearance.
She's my roommate.
But we love you guys so much, and make sure you just stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week.
Oh, yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.